The Lakers are 0-4, and I'm loving every minute of it. Let's go.
On your mark, get set. Let's go.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up?
Montana looking, throwing in the end zone. Caught it! Dwight!
Palmero over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
And that'll do it. It's over. The Golden State Warriors return to a familiar place. They're on top of the NBA world.
We're down to 2, now to 1. Here's Jordan. Yes! It's all over. The Chicago Bulls.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Hey, this promises to be fun.
Oh, yeah!
Yeah, baby. It's the tripped out Thursday edition of Snowman in the Morning. Good morning. Oh, y'all noticed this? Anybody notice that? I'm just going to let this play all the way through because I love the nostalgia and I love the NBA news that's going to kick off the morning. So we got a lot to do today. Kyle Senra will join me at 9:05. Clark Monroe, producer Clark, will join me at 9:25 because we got a lot to discuss, and I'm waiting on my partner to get here. Good morning, Andrew. Good morning to you, Chris Dietz, and to my buddy Victor Locke. Throwback Thursday is in the air with the NBA on CBS playing. Man, you know this is my basketball thing. When I do Jennings County basketball this season, and whenever I do a team beyond, this is the theme I'm going to rock. Question for you all. What is the one event on Saturdays that brings you back to your childhood? It could be a Saturday morning cartoon, a breakfast that was mostly enjoyed on Saturday. Let me answer your question, Victor. Me, a big bowl of Rice Krispies, and some Looney Tunes. There, how's that? How's that for nostalgia? The Hog TV in the house? Yes, the Lakers and the Nets lost. Think about that. Oh, and by the way, so did Philadelphia. So much for all those plans. Ha, 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 ha. I'm going to love this edition of the Whip Around presented by Fanatics. We kick things off at the new McNichols Arena called Ball Arena in Denver, Colorado, and the Lakers got what's the word I'm looking for? Beaten? No, man. No, yeah, they got spanked 110-99 to the two-time MVP Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets. How sweet it is to see this train wreck. This is an absolute train wreck of a team, and yet they're waiting to do something about it. Now, I know all the folks at the LJPN are saying to me, I'll have to load it another way, which I will. As I said, I know that all of the folks at the LJPN, and if you missed it yesterday, I'm going to play the entire episode. Well, I don't have any room to load the darn thing. Okay, no problem. Watch this. This is when I go to my second board. And it's still doggone. I'm sorry. I'm improvising on the fly here. Let's try it here. Yep. We're good. All right, let's go back to everybody at the LJPN is saying to me,
Boot him!
because I'm talking ish about Braun and the Fakers. And they got whacked. And they're going to continue to get whacked all season long. And I love it. 3,000 miles away in Philadelphia, the town that's supposed to belong to Joel Embiid, the Sixers stink too. Lost by 10, 119 to 109 to the Toronto Raptors. And the Sixers are headed for the same train wreck of a season that the Fakers are going to have. We're not done. Yeah, there's this team called the Brooklyn Nets. That's supposed that, according to one Stephen A. Smith, God help me, that thinks the Nets are the team to beat in the Eastern Conference. Well, Stephen A., I'm here to tell you that
The truth shall make you free.
Oh, you didn't hear that? Let me try that. Let me try that again. I got to put a little volume on this. Maybe that's why y'all didn't hear the clips yesterday. I'm figuring this out as I go along. Hey, Stephen A., remember when you said
The truth shall make you free.
Well, the truth is the Nets suck. And they got blasted by Milwaukee, a true Eastern Conference contender. Let me say that again for all you Brooklyn Nets fans. A true Eastern Conference contender slapped the Nets around like the biatches they are. And I got a funny clip. I'll have to load it later, but I will tell you all about it right now. This is how bad it is for the Brooklyn Nets. Kyrie Irving gets down the lane, hands it to Ben Simmons, and Ben Simmons is looking to pass when he's 5 feet from the basket. 5 feet. To the point where Kyrie blurts out, and I quote the Irving, "Shoot it, Ben!" Y'all, I said from the beginning, Ben Simmons is a coward. Ben Simmons is a fool. And my opening statement about Ben Simmons holds true to this day. Ben Simmons is a colossal bust. And he gets more and more colossal of a bust with every game played. Every game. Enough about the Brooklyn Nets. Tomorrow begins what is probably going to be an exciting World Series, the most exciting I've watched in a while, when the defending American League champion Houston Astros entertain the National League champion Philadelphia Phillies. Game 1 pitches tomorrow in Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas, where my partner Cole Johnson is from. Let me see. How many wins do the Astros need? How many wins do they need?
They need 4 more. 7 down, 4 to go.
I got a present. I got a present for you.
Oh, what's that present?
I was a little busy.
Oh, really?
In the lab yesterday.
Okay.
So, oops, wrong board. I got a little excited. Yeah,
You
I
were
was busy in the lab yesterday,
Mhm.
and I cut this for you.
Modem. Oh Lord.
Like I said, I woke up from a nap. I got busy in cutting things from yesterday's show, which was fabulous, by the way, and you're a big part of it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And then we could use this on any and everybody, but especially on Wednesdays. Because all we have to tell some people,
Modem. Oh my gosh.
remember, you came up with that.
Again.
And the best three words I can describe that on the fly. Because
Again.
me and Darnell were giving you a whole lot to work with yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And being the let me have a little fun. Deets, this is for you. Being the professional show that we are, we decided, screw it, let's run with it. And that is when listen, Playmaker and I were throwing a lot of barbs at Cole yesterday, folks. In case you missed it, I'm gonna play that entire sequence. Best thing ever. Best damn thing ever is when, I don't know if it's Ray Ray or Pookie or Junebug or whatever, when he said
Modem.
And just like Cole's trying to finish his breakfast.
You see, it's I don't know how to describe this properly.
Let me close something here while I'm pushing buttons. That's this edition of the Whip Around presented by Fanatics. I got so flustered I pushed the wrong button. I'm sorry.
Again.
And the bad part is we got so many clips on the original board, I had to create a second board.
Oh,
yeah.
That's how you do it.
Board 2. I got Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson, board 2, and that's where we can load a lot more clips.
Oh.
Because, I discovered that by pure accident yesterday. Because each board, I believe, holds 100 clips.
Yeah, it holds 100. Yeah, the maximum is 100.
Including...
Modem!
You realize I'm going to play the hell out of that all day today.
Oh, Lord. Again, you never know what sticks. I did not even plan on doing that.
No. But Playmaker and I were having so much fun yesterday. Like I said, in case y'all missed it, I'm going to play the entire sequence when we come back from break, and you will see Cole's reaction as well as my reaction, because it got to a point I couldn't stop laughing. Lord knows listen, I tried, okay? I tried.
You tried to stop laughing.
It didn't work. Because like you said, you never know what sticks. Victor Locke, ladies and gentlemen, that's Cole Sports with a Z.
Thank you, Victor.
You know what? Cole gave me an assignment 3 years ago.
Drew. Modem.
I told you. That's a staple now. Cole gave me an assignment 3 years ago. And he said, I have something for you. All right, what? You're going to MC the awards ceremony. I'm going to do what? Yeah. He sent me the scripts. I recorded them. And then I listened to the production while I was at work. I listened to the production while I was at work. I was doing home health care at the time. The guys listened to it with me. And like me, they couldn't stop laughing. They just couldn't stop laughing. Hey, Pistol, good morning to you. Modem. Hey, Pistol, this is for you.
Modem.
I had to cut that 4 different times because there was space behind it and space in front of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted just that clip right there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take a break.
Oh my gosh.
We have to compose ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to, what was it? We have to be professional again.
Oh Lord.
Oh, that when that comment happened, that's like taking us on the fly, okay?
Right.
And we've reached 400 subs on the YouTube channel.
Congratulations. Wow.
Oh, I want more.
Oh, of course.
I'm greedy.
Yeah.
I want more. But unlike Kanye, I'm gonna know how to use the billions when I get them.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay.
I'm taking all kinds of shots today.
I see.
You know, people want to tell us,
Behave yourselves.
and we say, wait a minute, let me say this correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Let me do this correctly.
Mm-hmm.
People want to tell a show like us and our guests,
Behave yourselves.
and we say,
Hell no. To the no. You can take the behavior, showing up your very good.
there. Take your behavior and stick it up your ass. Support the show on Patreon. Go to patreon.com/SIT morning.
Right.
And you can pick up the podcast wherever you consume your podcast. Back in a flash.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
I want to show that attainability. I want to show the accessibility of this kind of lifestyle.
From social media to having conversations with friends and family, you always have to put on face and say face.
What brings a smile to my face is the one person that totally believes in me, and that's my beautiful wife, Jody.
I just had to stop because I didn't value myself. I didn't love myself. And it's like, I have to learn to love myself.
Changing the world, one conversation at a time. This is Revelations.
I want to do a TED Talk, but I don't have anything to talk about yet. I'm getting there.
Life is for the living. We're not here that long.
You can learn anything you want to learn without any money spent.
What do I really enjoy? What do I really want out of life?
I am your host, WIZE.
Are you in a life holding pattern? Well, this is for you. Welcome to the Stuck in My Mind podcast. If you're looking for a sports program that gives you the flavor.
Washington Commanders? Really?
This whole thing stinks to high heaven.
That pulls no punches.
Thuggish act by a thuggish actor.
That gives you some humor.
Praise everything LeBron does and never criticize it.
If you want a show that gives you good times, then this is that show.
I am Cole Johnson, and welcome to
Cole Sports with a Z. Every Friday on Patreon, and every Saturday on YouTube, Spreaker, and all other outlets. Cause we take this job so serious.
What in the all types of blue hell?
Yes, it's Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson.
Now betting.
Wait.
Oh, Lord, man.
Now, hit it!
Lord, sucker. Now betting. The man who needs to be consoled because Aaron Boone will still be manager of the New York Yankees. Number 420, Wise El Jefe. Number 420.
What's going on, my brothers?
Hey, how you doing, man?
Okay, what is that across your screen, and how do I get it?
That lower third. Nice.
Oh, my lower third? Yeah.
How'd you do that? Which program do you use, and how do you teach the Snowman to use? How does the Snowman and Cole Sport use it? How do we do it?
OBS.
Okay, that's all I need to know. I'll take it from there.
OBS.
Now, there we go. Thank you, Hawk TV,
Hawk,
and thank you to the 400 that have subscribed.
Yes. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much. We're on our, and I'm going to say this out loud. People think I dream too much. I don't dream enough. That 400 is going to have a few extra zeros added to it by the time 2023 ends.
Brother, this show is picking up, man. It's getting every day. I see new people on the chat. I see the numbers grow every day. I'm proud of you, brothers, for doing what y'all doing. Y'all doing a great. You guys are doing some great things here, man. I'm telling you, y'all doing things where when I said that message, somebody used our Westbrook thing, man, and getting credit for it.
Oh, they actually gave credit to the show for it?
No, they didn't give us. No, I was trying to see if it was giving us the credit for it because. But I guess he posted it on Twitter. He posted the picture on Twitter and said, "What if this was?" He says this would be Tupac if Westbrook was the shooter.
I think we've been officially inducted now into the YouTube Thievery Hall of Fame because people are now stealing our clips.
But it's all good.
I look at it like this.
It's a form of flattery to us.
It is.
Like,
Yep. It is.
Because that's showing us we doing something good.
We got people's attention. And speaking of attention,
Lord.
This is for you. Oh, I can't play it there. Doggone it. I keep forgetting that.
Oh, you got to switch.
Yeah, I got to switch.
Boards.
I got to switch boards here.
Mm-hmm.
And Wise,
what?
I have to send this to you.
Modem.
Oh my God! I think that's one of the.
I went clip crazy yesterday,
bro. Listen, that segment right there has become one of the fan favorites, man. That is.
Yes.
It's hilarious.
I mean, listen.
I know my people in the South would. I know my people from the hood in the South wouldn't approve so much of it, but
I
don't care.
You know what? It's like Cole said. You don't know what's going to stick when you throw something out there.
You don't.
Okay? When he first did Bronze Sexual Confession, I mean, the very first time He alerted me to it. He explained how it was going to go, when he was going to do it, and he said, I'd like you to watch and see if I'm onto something. I watched that very first episode that he did of Brown Sexual Confessions, and I didn't stop laughing.
Bro, it's
and then
I bust your chops with the Monday, Tuesday.
I know,
part of this shit.
but you know what? It's fun though. When it's fun when you do.
But it is a segment that people do enjoy because you brothers go hard on LeBron.
Well, no. He goes on hard on LeBron.
Yeah.
I go hard on his obsessive fan base.
Yeah, he does.
But they both work though.
No, it does. It does. I'm not saying it doesn't. I'm not saying that we need to stop it. That's why it works.
We love when you bust our chops with the different days, especially when you're off camera.
If it wouldn't be me if I didn't do it.
No, it wouldn't.
Especially when you're off camera and you do it don't do it. Don't do it. And we can hear
do not press that button.
Oh, do not press that button. Do not.
We can hear two different dialects from you.
And you're part of that, brother. Thank you.
Yes, the roots are growing strong. Thank you, Hawk TV. We could hear two different dialects from you in that clip alone. We can hear the New York all the way out there. All right. And then the Puerto Rican comes out.
You should have heard me. You should have heard me when I lived in Florida.
Oh no!
When I lived in Florida, because when you live somewhere, and I lived in Florida 8 years. I lived in Tampa. You start picking up on the Southern slang. You start twanging on. So when I would speak to my people from New York, they be like, "Yo, son, what's wrong with you?"
Right, right.
You gotta add your son. What's up with you? Like your son.
Your son. What's
going on with that, man?
It's happening.
Why you sound like you from the South? And
it has happened to me. It has happened to me twice.
What's with you talk, son?
It's happened to me twice.
What's going on with you, bro?
I went down to North Carolina both times with a Midwest accent. I came back up here with a Southern twang. And all of my friends are going, what the hell happened to you?
It happens, man. And the thing is, I grew up in two places where it is distinct and different.
Mm-hmm.
In Houston, you basically hear mostly Houston when I do the LJPN bit. I might introduce another character that's straight up New Orleans.
Oh no.
I might.
You gonna bring New Orleans in the house? You gonna bring New Orleans in here?
I'm gonna bring New Orleans in the house, yeah.
I love it.
Yes, we're gonna have some.
We're gonna have a great time.
Because them bros has a buku drove. Yeah.
I told you it got to a point as he kept going yesterday during the LJPN. I couldn't stop laughing. And believe me, Playmaker and I were throwing barbs at him. He just took them.
I was listening. I heard the show
and threw it right back at us.
I heard the show,
and that is when I don't know what was said. I forgot what was said. That is when Cole came up with the award-winning.
Modem.
It was Playmaker. It was Playmaker.
Oh, Playmaker who did that.
Playmaker was saying something to him, and it just came out. Modem.
I
got a couple more. I'm going to throw up here on the second board.
Now, before you continue, before you continue, so Playmaker was still throwing barbs at me right before I was setting up the patriotic LeBron sexual part.
Oh God, yes.
If I were to have committed to memory mood him, I would have, but I basically broke character and went quiet.
Yes. Yes. This is the first time he ever used it.
Mood him.
Yeah, no, that was a great line. But see, this is
and then there's
the genius of Cole. This is the genius of
mad
Cole.
Scientist. This is the mad scientist at work. One of the best parts was this.
You're fired.
I mean, the wrong comment went up, and the next thing you heard was
you're fired.
This is a Southern Vince McMahon, okay?
Oh man.
You're fired.
Oh Lord.
Not your. No.
You fired.
You gotta shorten it into one syllable.
You're fired.
When you live in the South, no matter how long you lived in the South, every complicated sentence turns down, or complicated phrase comes down to one syllable and one syllable only.
Oh man.
Oh Lord, I
That's
forgot
the
about
award-winning.
that. Boot him!
And
you're fired. Oh
and he
Lord.
The way you mispronounced engineer yesterday. The way you mispronounced.
Oh, look.
I had to walk out of my office.
I think I broke Playmaker when I was doing the patriotic bit, because I hear his mic rumble in the middle of the bit, and I'm thinking, oh, I think I got him.
You certainly got me.
Oh, I knew I got you.
Yeah,
I think I got you hard when I did.
I'm listening.
You did what?
I hear the music in the background. I'm like, is this mofo giving us?
Yes.
Like, I'm listening to it, and I'm like, is that music in the background? When the fuck? When they put music to play? And I'm listening, and he's just going in. And I'm like,
folks, I got a
dude is
treat
really
for
getting
you.
a
In case you
right now.
missed the LJPN's tribute to Braun saving our country, I'm here to, in the immortal words of one Fred Hickman, I'm here to list it in case you missed it. Here it is. Cue.
Yep.
Oh, shit. He saved our country. You know, we were horrible in 2002. We were horrible in 2004. We were horrible in 2006. But in 2008, a man rose from the ashes. He came to the aid of Team USA. He put them on their back, and he lifted them to a gold medal.
No,
that's right. He saved America with his play. He saved America with his leadership. He saved America with his absolute brilliance. He saved America. So let's take this time to celebrate a true America. LeBron James, aka my king.
Oh my God. Cole, you's a fool, man.
You're an idiot.
You're a fool.
You're an idiot.
I swear. Yo, look at this fool, man.
I love my country, and you helped me get my love for my country back. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my God.
That broke me right there. That broke me.
My king. Oh, I love you, my king.
Yeah, that is so wrong. So wrong on so many levels.
It's so wrong on so many levels. I love you so much. Oh my God.
Look at this
fool.
Victor, you
So
better be
wrong.
glad you're in the office.
So wrong on so many levels.
Queen
Why?
and Tricia in the house with
God.
us.
How you doing, Aunt
Queen
Tricia?
and Tricia said this: Grand Rising cases. This is what I see when I log
in today.
You should
We have
have
to make
the whole
it.
20 minutes.
And Trisha, we gotta make people laugh. You gotta
Wait a
make
minute.
people laugh. We wouldn't be.
All I gotta say, Trish, all I gotta say is you should have seen the whole 20 minutes.
Oh yeah, no, I can't take another 20 minutes of that.
You should have seen the whole 20 minutes. Do me a favor, folks. Support the show via Cash App. We got some costs. Let's see if we can get $250 in today. Toward the Snow Strong Initiative and toward the SDM Sports Radio Network.
Wow.
All right. I would say enough the frivolity, but given our next guest, the
We're gonna
frivolity
see
ain't
more.
going to stop.
No, it's not.
All right. On your mark, get set, press the button.
Passionate,
Come after me. I'm a man. I'm 40.
unflinching,
Let's go back to losing. Parking was easier.
unrelenting,
They're not going to keep him off the field tonight.
totally
This one has a chance.
Deeds.
That's not just a murmur, that's a full-blown fibrillation.
Oh, man.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Wow.
our college football exploit, Chris Dietz. What up, man?
You're killing me.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Love the backdrop, brother.
Yeah, that's brand new. We figured out how to do that, so we're making strides here every week.
You moving up in the world.
Moving up in the world.
Our award-winning college football analyst Chris Dietz joins us with from the Fifth Down Sports Show, a show you can hear each Thursday night on the SDM Sports Radio Network, and you can hear a replay on Fridays as we get you ready for football weekend. All right, I start with this question. Give me a team that surprised the hell out of you this past weekend.
The surprise of the season, TCU.
I was thinking
TCU just keeps rolling. They just keep rolling, and Max Duggan is firing out of the gate. I mean, this and it's funny because you hear the coach talk every time. Max is such a good kid. He's worked so hard. If he worked so hard, why wasn't he the starting quarterback in game one?
Good question.
Right.
If he outworked everybody, why wasn't he starting game one? But now that he's taken you to 7-0, he's the hardest worker on the team. Like, come on.
I love that. I love that. I love that. TCU was down 28-10 to Kansas State, and they said, no problem. 28 unanswered points. That was that.
They put a foot in Oklahoma.
They killed Oklahoma. Oklahoma's chances got buried when they met TCU. And as many times as my wife and I heard the horned frog blowing its horn.
Ooh, man. I know that person was blowing that horn was sick of blowing it that day.
His arms were tired.
Jeez.
And blowing it home. My wife asked me, how do they do that? When she saw the big purple horned frog, she said, how do they do that? I said, baby, I wish I could answer that. But the TCU horned frogs are making a lot of noise, which prompts two other questions from me. One, is Duggan going to get any Heisman votes?
Yeah.
And two, most importantly, do they have a path to the college football playoff?
Do they their path? They don't have a path. They don't have a path paved in front of them. They have to hope for some serious chaos to happen for the path to open up.
Agreed.
Right.
Agreed.
But luckily, the teams in front of them all have to play each other. So
true. Yeah, they all have to beat each other up.
So the path is there. It's
Tennessee,
just a matter of
Tennessee
of
and
which
Georgia.
one plays.
Tennessee and Georgia, possibly one of those two in Alabama. And
Michigan and Ohio
State. Michigan and Ohio
State.
Michigan and Ohio State playing each other. I mean, the one thing that stands in their way is Clemson.
Clemson, yeah, because they have
but
nobody.
We'll deal with that. We'll deal with that tonight. We'll deal with that tonight. Because Clemson should. The way Clemson played on Saturday, they shouldn't be in the way of TCU.
They really shouldn't.
But they will be.
They should have lost that game against Syracuse.
It was so bad, even Death Valley fan stormed the field. Now you're thinking, okay, you are considered one of the top 5 programs in the last 10 years. why are you in a home victory against Syracuse? Yes, I know they're ranked. I know they were in the top 20. They stormed the field after that game.
Wait. Just rethink. Just rethink about that statement for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Clemson stormed the field after beating Syracuse.
Yes.
In a game where they had to pull their starting quarterback because he was playing so bad.
DJU got yanked.
And they stormed the field.
They stormed
the field for that.
Yeah.
They should be embarrassed by that victory.
Absolutely.
I mean, any victory is good, but you don't celebrate that kind of victory. You go,
what the hell happened?
Right.
No, we got bad dogs on that one.
Right.
You don't storm the field after that.
Storm the doggone field. I'm like, what am I seeing here? I get it if this was the opposite. If it was in the Carrier Dome and Syracuse pulled the victory, I would expect that there. But
because
that was Valley. If I'm right, that was 2014.
Syracuse has been down for years now. Like this is the first time the football team has been really relevant in how many years?
Was that 16 when they stormed the field at the Carrier Dome after beating Clemson?
That was 17. That was 17 when they beat Clemson.
When they beat Clemson at the Carrier Dome.
Number 2 Clemson.
Right. I would expect.
And yes, I have the CBS college football theme playing because we got Chris Dietz in the house. All right, that's how we can welcome him.
That's right.
Besides the award-winning intro that Cole put together with pieces of Keith Jackson and Howie Rose and that. Tennessee and Georgia, when they play each other, does one of those two teams get fully eliminated after they play each other?
No.
Why?
Well, unless it's the only way there's an elimination is if Georgia absolutely destroys Tennessee. If Georgia destroys Tennessee, then Tennessee is done. Tennessee has no shot at getting back in. But if it's a close game, then both teams are still viable.
And you mentioned something when Tennessee beat Alabama. I want you to expand on this point that you made, and I probably missed it, but I want you to do it again. Everybody was going goo goo gaga over Tennessee beating Alabama, myself included. But you said it's only sound and fury signifying nothing. Explain that point.
The game was great. I mean, the game was great, and it was meaningful for Tennessee. It was meaning for Tennessee fan.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, totally. Other than Tennessee fan, it was meaningless for everyone else. And
why do you
I explained this on the show on Thursday night. So if you go to Fit Down Sports Show and you listen to the show, we have the full explanation. You can get a 20-minute explanation of why the game was meaningless. But the quick Cliff Notes version is Alabama opened the day. Number 1, 68% chance to make the playoff.
Right.
They lose to Tennessee.
They don't drop all that.
They end Saturday, the third ranked team with 54% chance to make the playoff.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So they went from 1 to 3 as far as playoff predictions, as far as playoff percentage predictors. And people are trying to tell me it meant so much. It meant so much that Alabama went from the 1 seed in the playoff to still being in the playoff.
Yeah, because Alabama can still win the SEC.
Here's the kicker.
Alabama can still run the table and win like you said, Cole. They can still run the table and win the SEC.
Yeah.
Here's the kicker. Tennessee started the weekend 46% chance to make the playoffs. They beat Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
They went up to 48%.
Yeah,
they gained 2 percentage points.
Yeah,
two lonely percentage points after taking down Alabama.
Because to your points, next Saturday is still looming for Tennessee, and many people are saying, okay, well, they got past that hurdle of Alabama. Let's see if they can get past the next hurdle, and that one's on the road.
And that's at Sanford Stadium next Saturday, is it not?
Right. Between the hedges.
That is between the hedges.
They got to go between the hedges in front of 100,000 Georgia fans.
Yeah.
And even if they get by that, they still have to go to the SEC championship game to play Alabama
in Atlanta.
Where all Alabama or Georgia have to do is just simply do what they normally do and go to the SEC
and win out.
Period. All they do is win out. But Tennessee, they still have to prove. They still have two more prove-it games. Like you said.
Yeah,
Georgia and SEC championship.
If Tennessee gets to the SEC championship, do they have to win it, or do they? Let me phrase it this way. Let me phrase the question this way. Let me phrase the question this way, because this thought just popped in my head. Does Tennessee have to pull a Cincinnati from last year and run the table to get their spot in the playoff? Does that have to happen?
Yes.
Tennessee does not have. Tennessee does not have to.
Chris says no. Cole says yes. Cole, why do you say yes?
I'll tell you right now. Again, it all depends on how it happens. I mean, if they play a game, if they play Alabama and it's the exact same game we just saw them play Alabama, except instead of the Alabama kid who never misses a field goal, actually makes his field goal instead of missing it. If that's how the SEC championship game ends, there's no way you're going to keep Tennessee out.
Oh yeah, there is.
I mean, you got to think. You got to think. At the end of the season, you're for Tennessee to get there, they'd have to enter that game undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
They'd already have a win over Alabama and a win over Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So Georgia can't get. Georgia has no track to get back in.
But Alabama would avenge your loss because I don't see.
But Alabama,
I don't see anybody.
Alabama would jump them, but Alabama would be in. Alabama would be up there anyway.
That's my point. That's my point right there. If it's Georgia or Alabama
would jump Tennessee or jump Georgia,
they would jump both of them.
They would jump both of them.
Well, you got to think if Tennessee beats Georgia next week, Georgia's going to fall down to where Alabama is,
right?
And they don't have any way of getting back in.
Yeah,
I mean, by the time we get to the SEC championship game, Ohio State, Michigan will already have happened. Right. So one of those teams is going to knock each other out.
Or
is gonna knock one of them out. So
or to have all three be viable, the winner of the Ohio State Michigan game tanks it in the Big Ten championship. But
which could happen, yeah, depending on who they face. It could very well be Iowa again.
Right. But
again, what's going to be looming out there is undefeated Clemson and undefeated TCU. And that's what it's going to come down. That's what it's going to come down to.
I want to see TCU get in so bad.
I totally believe they're going to sleep hard on TCU because they're going to say, "Well, the Big Ten." Now. I know, and I think they're going to sleep just as hard later because they're going to say, "Okay, then the Big 12, that's a defense optional conference, and every time we put a Big 12 team in a CFP, they get motley whopped." And I know that's to tie into the bigger reasons. Yeah,
Cincinnati last year.
Yeah, to tie into why I say that yes, Tennessee would have to run the table. Otherwise, if they have one L, no matter when it comes, they will not make it to the CFP. All you have to do is drive up about an hour of where you are, Snowman. Those suits in Indianapolis will look.
Yes.
They will look at Tennessee and say, their fans don't travel, but Bama's and Georgia's seemingly does. And Tennessee, they're not a blue blood type of program, but I know we can get ratings with Alabama and Georgia. That's how they're thinking.
That's how they've always thought. And Cole, you taught me that a few years ago.
If they put Georgia if they put Georgia in and Tennessee beat them head to head on the field in Athens, there's no way. There's no way they can get away with that.
Here's a good example. Here's a good example of that scenario happening. So the Red River shootout, not rivalry. Red River shootout, 2008. Texas beats Oklahoma on the field. Beat them on the field. Actually beat them by double digits on the field. Unfortunately, they lose to Texas Tech. Texas Tech gets their brains beat in by Oklahoma. All of them end with one loss in the conference, and I think one loss in the whole year. Oklahoma got into the playoff, not Texas, although Texas beat Oklahoma head to head.
Now that was back in the BCS era. They made the championship game. They didn't make the playoff. They made the championship game.
Made championship game. That is how flawed they all think.
Everybody was outraged about it. It should have been Texas, and instead it was Oklahoma.
And that thinking 14 years later has not changed. They will go with whoever they feel, even if they just go record to record. They sometimes like to say, well, head to head matters. Sometimes it does. A lot of times it does not.
I mean, if you have that scenario happen, and I right now I'm torn because I would really love for that to happen, because then I can come on and say, let's just get rid of the conference championship. Can we get rid of the conference championship games forever?
I'm just about there. That's where
because
I am.
I've already said it's the dumbest thing. It's the dumbest thing ever. If we're going to expand to 8 teams, there's no reason why the conference championship weekend should be abolished.
And they're going to be expanding even further than 8.
It's money.
Yeah, exactly. It's which college they believe can draw the most money for them.
But think about that. Think about that for a second.
Before you go, the thing is with Tennessee, it would be a travesty if they have one loss and that loss is the SEC championship game, and they don't go in, even though they have victories over Georgia and Alabama. I think it would be criminal. But I can see them pulling that off because they think Georgia makes more money than Tennessee would, and if Alabama is in that same spot and they beat Tennessee, they feel the same way there, and that is, to me, problematic. That is problematic.
But I mean, we're gonna get there eventually. We're gonna get, and when they expand, and I think they want to expand to 12 teams.
Yeah.
When you expand it out, think about that for a second. Georgia, Tennessee, whoever wins that game. Let's just say Georgia wins. Okay? Either one of those teams. Tennessee would still get in a 12-team playoff, and they wouldn't have to play in the SEC. So what's the point of playing the SEC championship game? It's basically you're wasting your players for something that doesn't matter.
Well, to you, it doesn't matter.
There you go.
To anyone, it doesn't matter. Does anyone?
Wouldn't. It wouldn't matter.
No. Does anyone care? Does anyone in Alabama care that they won the SEC last year?
No, they won.
No, they don't, because they lost in the national championship game. No one cares that they won the SEC championship last year.
Yeah, because they beat the team that beat them in the national championship, the SEC championship. So yeah, of course.
No, I'm torn because I kind of want that to happen just so I can come on and say, all right, are we done with conference championship? Can we get rid of that weekend?
And something tells me the way they want to make it go to 12, they want to place more of an importance on the conference championship game just for that reason.
Yeah.
But it would completely devalue the conference. That's the thing I've been saying for years is you're devaluing the conference championship game. You're making it irrelevant. You're making it so that teams that aren't even going to play that weekend are still going to get in. I mean, if you did a 12-team playoff right now, 5 of them would be from the SEC.
Yeah.
You can't have 5 teams play in the SEC championship game. You can only have 2 of them.
Mm-hmm. But this is how they probably will explain it. they'd say, okay, well, this won't be an elimination game. This will be for seeding.
My ass. Oh boy.
But still,
It's a mess. I agree with you. I agree with you. I agree with you.
Teams.
It's a mess.
There'll be two teams sitting at home going,
Right.
hey, we're sitting back, relaxing, and we don't have to play a game. Meanwhile, the top two seeds are banging each other and killing each other. Like,
Right.
If you're Nick Saban and you are in that position, why would you even play your starters that weekend?
Mm-hmm.
Why would you even play in a conference champion? Why would you play them, risk injury, and go, all right, let's ball out for the
Or
SEC
injury or injuries
because it's a marquee matchup. It's a big time game, and we're all about the kids. We're all about those young men.
And my next two words remain: my ass.
Yeah, and I guarantee you, a guy like Nick Saban would be like, nope. We're gonna pull our guys and we're gonna save them for next week.
We're gonna playoff bid, yes, no question.
Yeah,
absolutely.
If teams that aren't even gonna play are making it, every team that plays in a conference championship game is gonna be like, nope, we're not risking our players' injury, our player safety for that.
Mm-hmm.
We're not doing it.
They're already doing it for bowls.
Yep.
So there you go.
Chris Dietz joins us every Thursday to talk college football. And Dietz, we're going to have an extended conversation with you beginning next week because we're really going to break all this down. Dietz, our pleasure, my friend.
Man.
We love you, and we'll do it next week.
Outstanding, brother.
All right, guys. It's Fit Down tonight at 7.
All right, I got you, and it will be on SDM Sports Radio Network.
Can I get one more second in to give because I want Wise to hear this, and I want the entire chat to hear this because this is what we're doing to open the show. How does She-Hulk and Rings of Power compare to what the New York Giants are doing?
Oh, I can't wait to hear this.
Oh man, you compare.
You will find out the answer at 7:00 tonight.
Oh, I can't wait to hear this. It'll be live. It'll be live on the Fit Down Sports Show, a part of the SDM Sports Radio Network. Thank you, Dietz. We love you, brother. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Have a good one.
Dietz. You too, man.
Passionate.
Come after me. I'm a man. I'm 40.
Unflinching.
Let's go back to losing. Parking was easier.
Unrelenting.
They're not going to keep him off the field tonight.
Totally.
This one has a chance.
Dietz.
That's not just a murmur, that's a full-blown fibrillation.
As you look at the Big Ten standings, that's not just a murmur, that's a full-blown fibrillation.
I debated on using that clip, but I was like, nah, I have to end it with that.
That right there, that's a full-blown fibrillation. I love it. I love it. Trish, we will connect with you. I will make sure I connect with you via Linktree today. Because I know I'm going to be running around here like a madman, getting the podcast caught up and everything. And I finally have a formula on which to do it. Thank you to Shane Lake, our other executive producer, who's going to join us, I believe, in 3 weeks' time, because he's getting settled and he's going to take a little more load off my hands. All right. 2 minutes before the hour, and just a minute. I keep pressing the wrong button. It's like Victor said yesterday, dealing with you-know-who's got me pressing the wrong buttons. Because there were some clips I wanted to play, but then I kept hearing
Modem!
And
Modem!
And
you're fired!
Hour 2 starts right now.
And Trish, I'm gonna hit you up on Instagram.
Oh my goodness.
On your mark, get set. Let's go.
Cause we take this job so serious.
Hey! You pushed the wrong button, dude.
On your mark, get set. Let's go.
Cause we take this job so serious.
All of it between two people and 4 nostrils. All of it was gone.
LeBron James is pure, unadulterated trash as a basketball player and has been for 20 years. We don't want to see that. Wait a minute. We don't want to see
the cap, bro.
Number 420. YSL. Number 420.
I had to do it. Oh man, I thought I missed it.
What in the all types of blue hell?
Yes, it's Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson.
that sound where he strikes a lighter, that sound that Cole found where someone strikes a lighter, and then you bring in Wise just as he's breathing out the smoke, and you hear the sound in the background, and then Wise just goes, "Had to do it."
I was looking for the perfect sound to complement that, and when I found out, it's like, "Oh, this is perfect." It will accentuate that,
my brother.
And then, of course, there's the clip I have. Wise off camera. Don't do it. Don't do it. Do not do it. And we're all just cracking up laughing. My wife heard that. My wife heard that, and now she's saying, "Don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't do it."
When I get an idea about something, she'll just immediately make me laugh and go, "Don't do it. Don't do it." And then, well, she hasn't used the "do not press that button" yet. It's not her I'm waiting for to use that phrase against me. It's my children.
I hope they do.
I hope they do also.
I hope they do.
Because I will get such a kick out of it.
What have I do to you?
What did I ever do to you?
My son will say that to me
so much.
Listen, my son, I can imagine my son saying that to me.
Oh my.
I mean, just out of nowhere, he'll bust out, "Whatever do to you." Like he'll just look at me. And my son's 23, 24 now. He'll just, "Whatever do to you." He'll just look me straight in the face. "Whatever do to you." And I'll fall out laughing. A couple of minutes into the second hour. And to repeat something I said at the top of the show, the Sixers suck, the Nets blow, and then they're the Lakers.
And my Knicks have won 3 in a row.
Huh?
And my Knicks have won 3 in a row.
Yeah, overtime against the Hornets, 134-131 was that final.
Oh man, that was a tight game. I was nervous.
They got some good graphics on MSG because I caught part of the broadcast last night.
Oh man, it was a good game, man.
It was.
You know what? My issue is we should have never been in that situation. They didn't have ball. They didn't have
Y'all had a double-digit lead in that game.
they kind of gave that up. Listen, I'll take the win, but there's still some work to be done. But I'm excited with what this young team. I'm excited what Jalen Brunson is doing. Set a career high in assists yesterday. So we truly got a point guard now.
Now, I must ask this question, and I'm directing this to Cole, and it's basically a lob for a dunk. Why do the Lakers suck so badly? It's something we've talked about all summer.
Well, see, they suck so badly because you have someone at the head of the organization just being so defiant in believing they have all the pieces to the puzzle. And it is encapsulated in a Twitter handle and a Twitter tweet.
Oh, God.
Keep talking about my squad, our personnel age, just the way he plays. He says injured, we're past our time in this league, etc., etc., etc. Do me one favor, please. And I mean please. Praying hand emoji. Keep that same narrative energy when it begins.
That was last year.
That's all I ask. Hashtag thank you. Crown emoji.
That was last year, wasn't it?
That was last year.
August the 1st, 2021 was when this was done. It was taken out. It was taken away. It was taken off of Twitter a week later.
How many players from Clutch Sports are on the Lakers?
I think half of the team.
Eight.
Now, if that isn't a conflict of interest, I don't know what is.
Yeah.
And if that doesn't prove that, and I've said this a lot, I've said this aloud. This is why I say to you, LeBron James is the greatest player in the league. When I say it this way, I'm not talking about talent. And I know when you say that they're not, Brian, you're talking about talent. So that's why I'm like, I agree with you.
Right.
But when I say greatest, I mean greatest in impact. And I don't necessarily mean positive either.
Good call.
The Lakers is an example.
All right, we'll put a pin in it there, and we'll talk some fantasy football with Kyle Senra as we go north of the border. Good morning, Kyle.
Hi, everyone. How's everyone doing?
How's it going?
Good, man.
Been a while since I had you on, man. Been a while.
Yeah. It's been a while, Snowman, but it's getting colder, so I guess it's the time for Snowman, right?
Yes. All right. Who is your top fantasy quarterback coming into this week?
Well, especially with Patrick Mahomes on bye, it really does just default back to Josh Allen. And as a result, I also have Stephon Diggs as my number one receiver. I think that stack will be great for a lot of people this week. I'm a Packers fan, and that Packers defense is pretty brutal.
I forgot you were a Packer fan.
Yeah.
I mean, what's going on with them, man? What's going on with them?
I mean, so I think first off, Rodgers isn't playing at a top 3 quarterback level that he has been basically his entire career as starting. So just that alone, it's that we're less accustomed to. I do think there are some things coaching wise that could be improved. I know Joe Barry's defensive system has quite a lot of flaws in it. It's good in some areas, but we've seen a lot of, the slot receiver gets covered by a linebacker. And, in the first game of the season, for instance, the Vikings really exploited that with Justin Jefferson. It's like, that's how you're going to cover your slot receiver? Okay, perfect. We'll just put Jefferson there and good luck. So like that ends up being sort of one kind of problem with the system. I know they play a lot of off coverage as well. It allows for a lot of easy, quick receptions, which is, I think, something that Diggs could utilize, right? If they just get the ball in his hands quickly. So if they're giving him off coverage, like I like Jair Alexander as a corner, but if they're going to play off with him and not have him press the receiver, I think it's just easy completions to, in this case, Diggs.
Let's look at a couple of let's try to get a couple of other receivers besides Stephon Diggs. Who would you choose as a fantasy receiver this week?
So I think the top 3 in terms of fantasy points per game at the wide receiver are Stephon Diggs, Cooper Kupp, Justin Jefferson. So those are going to be my top 3 in my weekly rankings almost every week. Some various order. I think this week I've got a Diggs, Kupp, and then Jefferson at 3.
And can you give us a sleeper receiver out there? Because I need some help.
Ooh, sleeper. Okay. I'm trying to think of I'm trying to think of, like, in my leagues, who am I kind of on bye week? Who are the players that I'm playing when I...
Can I throw a biased choice out there?
Yeah, go ahead.
Samuel.
Debo?
I prefaced my question by putting the keyword in there.
Well, at least it wasn't Brandon Ayuk.
No. Don't do it. Don't do it. Do not do it. No, but who would be a true sleeper receiver for you, Kyle?
Well, I guess one of the things I look at is my weekly goal line guide. And in that, I know the Cowboys end up having a really good grade passing wise. So I do think, as much as it hurts that he got a 0 last week, I'd be willing to go back again with Michael Gallup. I think, players like that, they're not going to get 0 2 weeks in a row. So seeing him in the game with no catches like that, I think they're almost going to emphasize to get him the ball. I guess the one fear with Dallas is they just run the ball too much, that there's no pass attempts, which ended up being the case last week. They won't be playing the Lions every week, though, so that's the solace there. So I think I could see Michael Gallup having a big rebound game. I think a lot of people will be sour off him. The thing with Debo is Snowman is he's not really a sleeper. Like, the people who have Debo, like, he's like, I could see someone maybe dropping Gallup last week after his poor performance. Maybe it's a good time to go pick him up. Whereas I don't think anyone's dropping Debo.
Right.
In fact, he's going to be in everyone's lineup, I think.
How about running back? Who are your top 3 running backs?
So top 3 this week are Derrick Henry at 1, Saquon Barkley 2, Nick Chubb at 3. The only one that really could add in there is Josh Jacobs. Surprisingly, he's had an incredible season, and I think that offensive line is playing better than we expected. They've lost a few pieces the last couple of years. In fact, this year they lost a piece in Leatherwood, but that seems like it almost helped them. But yeah, so that was surprising to see. I think he's the RB3 on the season right now, so he's going to be in the top 5 for me.
So do they re-sign him?
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see.
Because they just like how the Giants did. They declined the 5th-year option on Jacobs.
And I think the 5th-year option now becomes almost so restrictive, especially for Daniel Jones, right? Because I think the Giants would almost rather, okay, if we're gonna have him next year, let's extend him for a couple years, as opposed to pick up the 5th-year option on him, and then if he does even better next year, what are you paying him more? So I think for the Giants, it makes more sense. For the Raiders, though, you probably don't want to sign a long-term extension with a running back coming off the rookie deal. So the 5th-year option would make more sense for that. Use it 1 year, and then you can decide, okay, we're going to give him a 2-year deal after that. So I suppose I could see the Raiders and Jacobs being kind of equal on the amount, but the Raiders maybe wanting it to be a lesser term contract and Jacobs wanting longer years. So that might be what, messes things up. I have a hard time thinking they'll franchise tag him just because of how much they're going to already be paying Adams and with Carr's contract. And I know like Max Crosby's coming up soon, so they probably don't want to tag him. It'll probably cost less per year to have an extension. So we'll see. I mean, the way he's playing, it almost feels like they kind of have to. Because if they don't have him, suddenly the strength of this run game evaporates completely. I like Zamir White as a prospect, but he hasn't even gotten the field yet. We don't know what that's actually going to look like.
How about tight ends? Who are your top 3 tight ends coming into this week?
I was going to say Travis Kelce, right? But no, he's on bye. He might still be number 1 because that's how bad tight end is. But no, this one's a little scary because we don't know how injured Mark Andrews is. But if he's one of those guys, if he's out there playing, you kind of have to play him in your lineups. And I have him at number 1 right now. Obviously, he seemed to play through an injury last week, and they didn't really target him. Now, the other thing was they just kind of ran through the Browns defense. They did not need to throw the ball to get the win. So it seems like against the Buccaneers, well, actually, I don't know. The Panthers just demolished them, so maybe it's the same thing. But I'd imagine it's going to be a closer game, and they'll need to throw. So I don't see Andrews getting 0 targets like last week. So I think he'll have to rebound against the Buccaneers if they want to win. So I see Andrews still at number 1. You'll like this. If there's any player who might be number 1 tight end this week, it's probably George Kittle. It seems like McCaffrey arriving didn't necessarily take targets away from him. But we'll see as McCaffrey further entrenches himself into the offense, how that dynamic keeps going. But I've got Kittle right now as my tight end 2. And tight end 3, I believe, is Tyler Higbee, just because of all the targets he's gotten all year.
Right.
Although, actually, no, I don't. I think I lowered him because of the matchup against the 49ers there for you, Snowman. So I think my number 3 tight end on the week is actually Zach Ertz.
Okay. Last but not least, let's look at some defenses. Your top 3 defenses coming into this week.
Ooh. I actually don't usually rank defense too much. So I think to me, it's all about matchup. So you're always trying to find who are the best matchups to go against for those defenses. So you're looking at, I think, offenses that throw a lot of interceptions or offensive lines that allow a lot of sacks. I think either way, that's the Chicago Bears. And as much as Fields got the win Monday night, I think the Cowboys defense is probably the number 1 unit because of how much they put pressure on the quarterbacks and how bad the Bears offensive line is, specifically in pass protection. They're kind of a middle of the ground unit run blocking, but from a pass protection standpoint, they're pretty brutal.
Right. I agree with that.
In terms of other defenses, I suppose the Eagles against the Steelers, rookie quarterback in Kenny Pickett.
They're going to pin their ears back.
And they just added Robert Quinn, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yes, they did. They traded for Robert Quinn. And that takes a piece away from the Bears defense, but that's going to be a fire sale, I think, within about 4 or 5 weeks anyway. The Bears are going to be a fire sale. Eagles get stronger with Robert Quinn, and then Eagles are just going to pin their ears back and come after Pickett.
And then if I had to add a third defense, again, you'll like this one, Snowman. I think the 49ers against the Rams. I'm pretty sure Stafford's leading the league in interceptions again, and that offensive line is pretty bad. Losing Whitworth, it seems that they have not been able to properly replace him. So again, you want defenses that are going to produce a lot of pressure, get sacks, but also the chance at interceptions. I think the 49ers, even on the road, have both of those.
And the one thing with the 49ers against the Rams, especially on the road, they don't have to bring a lot of pressure because of their front 4, but given this matchup in Los Angeles, they're going to bring a lot of pressure for Stafford because they want Stafford to make a lot of mistakes. And he threw a pick 6 in their opening matchup against them in Santa Clara.
Yep. Yeah. And again, I think it's not even against the 49ers. Like Stafford has just been last 2 years really throwing a lot of interceptions. I don't remember it being that big a problem in Detroit. So
Right.
maybe it's he knows the team's better. So like in Detroit, he really had to hold on to the football because any turnover, the defense is probably allowing a score. Whereas with this unit, a stronger defense, so maybe he feels like he can take more risks and the team can still bail him out.
Right. We will see how the fantasy week goes. That's Kyle Senra, a fantasy football expert, joining us, and he will join us every Thursday and take us all the way through the season. Thank you, Kyle. Appreciate the time.
Of course. Thanks, guys.
Kyle Senra joining us here, and we're going to go back north of the border for producer Clark, who joins us right now. Good morning, producer Clark. How are you, man?
Hey, guys. It was when you got a couple kids, it was one of those mornings where you got a couple extra minutes of sleep, and that's why I'm a little late today. But thanks.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You're fine. All right. Is it really the final regular season week of the CFL this week?
Yeah, it sure is, guys. It goes by fast, that's for sure. But it's this week it seems like one of those weeks where everyone's just waiting for next week. Like at this point, there's only really a couple of storylines going into this week, and everyone's kind of just looking ahead to the playoffs already. So it's an interesting dynamic to what this week actually means.
It is, man. It is. Let's start in Saskatchewan. Do they replace their coach, or do they give him another year?
Yeah, I think a lot's going to happen this offseason in Saskatchewan. We talked about it a lot yesterday on the Rod Peterson show. We had some really great guests on. Jeff Fairholm, who's a CFL legend, and Ben Hebert, who actually has a podcast with Bo Levi Mitchell, of all people. So Benny and Jeff brought up some really great points about the Rough Riders specifically. Jeff is a former Rough Rider, so he has a really interesting perspective. But I think that there's going to be a few personnel changes for sure. It could all depend on what they end up doing at quarterback. So I saw I was reading around some stuff last night on Twitter about what Bo Levi Mitchell's future is going to be. And I think there was some big stories last time he was a free agent, which was really recently, that the Rough Riders were very much in on him to bring him in a couple of years ago. And it didn't work out. He went back to Calgary, but he was very close to signing here. The sentiment now is that it's kind of becoming a perfect storm that he might actually come here again. The Rough Riders might need a head coach. They might need some new management. And it just so happens that a lot of the Stampeders staff are probably ready for some promotions. There's one of their special teams coordinators for a long, long time, Mark Killam, is very highly regarded around the league. He's been there for over a decade now. He's one of the better coaches who has never been a head coach. And I know that from what I've heard, he is a very good connection to Bo Levi Mitchell. So that could be if he comes, maybe Bo will also come, kind of thing. Mark Mueller, who's a Regina legend, he's one of the all-time passing yard leaders at the University of Regina. He's a quarterbacks coach, running back coach for the Stampeders. He's ready to maybe make a move to offensive coordinator type deal. So if he comes, that would also probably entice Bo Levi to come. And then there's also some guys who are very ready to move on to a general manager role around the league. Some have connections to Saskatchewan. G. Simon won a Grey Cup here. He's a legendary wide receiver, and he's been working as an assistant general manager for several seasons now. So he might be ready to make a move, and not that he has a connection to Bo specifically, but he might be looking to put his stamp on the team early if that's the case. No pun intended with the stamp thing. But a guy like him, or there's another guy's names floating around, Danny McManus, another legendary quarterback in this league. A legendary quarterback, who better than to bring in for your first big splash than another future legendary quarterback? And so there's a lot of kind of things that are lining up where Saskatchewan might be bringing in, Bo Levi Mitchell. Everyone's saying he's had some injury issues. He's over the hill. He's only 32. In the CFL, you can play as a quarterback until you're 40, and that nobody blinks an eye in this league. So,
right.
We could be seeing a big monumental shift in philosophy this offseason, potentially an entire regime change. potentially huge player changes. This could be a generational offseason, I would say, for the Rough Riders. But we'll get past week 21 first, and then we'll see. But like I said, this week's storylines are few and far between in terms of the games because everyone's already looking ahead to next week already.
Well, we got a big one Friday night. BC and Winnipeg, both of these teams have had their fate determined for them. BC gets to host Calgary in a Western semifinal game. How do you see this matchup playing out?
BC and Winnipeg, I think, that's the top matchup, if that's what we're suggesting. Are you talking about this Riders Calgary game? Is that what you said?
I'm talking about BC and Winnipeg.
BC Winnipeg, yeah, exactly. So BC Winnipeg, that's the one that I think everyone's kind of looking at as maybe the game of the week, quote unquote. The biggest thing is that Nathan Rourke has been throwing. Nathan Rourke, who came out hot and lit up the league in the first 7-8 weeks of the season, 5-6 weeks, however many it was. Then he got hurt, and everyone thought he was done for the year. He's a young Canadian quarterback, and everyone was super excited about this kid. And then he got hurt. Once the rumors started swirling that he was maybe coming back and going to maybe play the last game of the season, now all the BC Lion fans are kind of crawling back up again and saying, okay, here we go. So everyone wants to see Nathan Rourke, and everyone wants to see what Winnipeg's going to do. I think this is the week that, typically a season like this where Winnipeg's got it all but locked down in terms of first place. They've kind of been coasting for the last couple of weeks. Are they going to play anyone? It's kind of an injury watch week. Who's going to get hurt? They just want to get out of this one healthy. It doesn't matter for them in the standings. Whereas BC, I think, still has a little bit to go for. I think they want to just kind of put one more final statement on the season before the playoffs start and kind of start the tempo and set the tone for the first week of playoffs. So BC is going to be on the road. It's going to be the weather is not that great. It's snowing out. Especially in Winnipeg, it'll be a weather event over in Winnipeg.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see what BC brings, and if they're going to be kind of guns a-blazing to get ready for playoffs, or if everybody's just going to be a little bit timid. We'll see. But that's the one game that I think most people are going to keep their eyes on for sure.
Triple header on Saturday begins at 2 p.m. Eastern. Montreal and Toronto. Toronto has locked up the East, and where does Montreal go from here?
Yeah. The East, Montreal, as of last week, they finally basically kicked Saskatchewan out of the playoffs. And I think, again, we talked about this with BC, but I think Montreal this is their message for the playoffs. They're going to be able to send a message here. They're not going to play Toronto in the first round, but they want to probably smack Toronto around a little bit to show them hey, when we do see you in the second round, we're coming for you. And they're going to probably end up playing. Well, they're going to end up playing Hamilton, I think, in the first round. So it's going to be they want to get right so that they're ready for Hamilton, so that they can take care of business next week. Toronto, again, it's kind of in the same situation as Winnipeg. They're good to go. They need to lock down that first spot. They need to stay healthy. They'll probably take a look at some guys. So again, this is kind of one of those. Rod Peterson calls it the friends and family week. This is what nobody's watching but the friends and the family.
Right.
So that's kind of the vibe I'm getting from this one. In Toronto, their fans are the way that they are anyways. But Montreal, I think, has something to go for this week, and just kind of they need to get ready for the playoffs. And Toronto, at the same time, I think they're going to get an important look at some guys, because you know how important depth is, especially when it gets to a playoff grind.
Yes.
The next guy up mentality. If you don't have somebody ready, I think this is the week where Toronto is going to try to get those next guys ready, and try to get their lineup as strong as possible for their bye week. They want to stay healthy, like I said, get healthy, but then they want to see who they've got for that playoff run.
Absolutely. Second game of the triple header: Hamilton in, Ottawa out. Another friends and family game for the Tiger Cats.
Yeah, this one's tough because Hamilton, they still have playoffs to go, whereas Ottawa doesn't. So it's Ottawa, in a way, I think it's a contract game. People are fighting for contracts next season. Coaches are fighting for their jobs, and I don't think that they want to sit this one out, whereas, Winnipeg and Toronto are kind of taking a different approach. Plus,
Right.
it's Ottawa's last game at home. They want to probably give their fans something to be hopeful for going into the next season. So to me, and with Hamilton locked up the playoffs, I almost reversed this one. Hamilton just wants to stay healthy in this one, whereas Ottawa, I think they want to come out and probably play their best game of the year if they can. So this one, you might want to watch this one a little bit because Ottawa all year long have been kind of the team that have gotten walked all over, and this might be their shove it back down everybody's throats kind of game.
Right.
So you might see some guys with really big chips on their shoulders, maybe putting a little bit of extra effort in for Ottawa this week. I would hope so. Anyways,
I would
it's
hope
been
so
a tough.
too.
It's been a tough season for those guys, and I'm kind of looking for this one. I want to see Ottawa win this one, like in a big way. Hamilton, again, they just want to get out of this one healthy, so they might not play very many guys. They might keep it really simple and just try to get in and get out. Whereas I would like to see Ottawa kind of run all over these guys in this last week. It'd be great to see for Ottawa. It's a great fan base, a lot of great people work in that organization. So here's hoping that they have a good final week to kind of give their fans something to look forward to next year.
Then you got the Rough Riders in Calgary to close out the triple header. Rough Riders out, Calgary in. Calgary has their fate determined. They have to go to BC for the Western semifinals. So this is another injury watch week, especially for Calgary.
Yeah, and like I said, the Rough Riders, basically last week, the final nail in the coffin for this fan base was they came out and put up a stinker in a game that they absolutely had to have. I think a lot of the people in this province were pretty upset with the performance, top to bottom, not just the players. It was the coaching staff. It was everything. Just nothing was great last week.
There was no life. There was no life last week.
And they needed a win. It was their life last week, and they died. So in terms of this game this week, Calgary, like you said, their seed has failed. They're good to go. Saskatchewan has been quite disappointing over the last stretch. It's just I don't know. I'm personally don't even really want to tune into this one almost. And it's hard for me to say that.
Right.
But it's like, what do I need to go watch that one for? I'd rather watch some of those other ones and check out some of those other storylines. This one, like I said, there's a lot of dejected Rough Rider fans in this province right now. So I talked about it earlier, but there could be a lot of changes, and it is a publicly owned team, much like the Green Bay Packers. So the fan base, although we don't make the decisions, if it's a heavy, the fan base can be heavy on this team.
Yep. So
there might be some stuff going on in the off season, and I think everybody at this point is just kind of waiting for that to happen. It's a sad province right now. It's a sad fan base, and I think we're already on to next year. And
yeah,
for Calgary, Bo Levi Mitchell is going to get the start from everything that I'm hearing on this one, and this is kind of his legacy game. I anticipate that there'll probably be a couple of ceremonies, because also from the Rough Riders, Charleston Hughes is probably going to be playing his last game potentially in Calgary, so he might be getting some type of small tribute as well. So there's a couple of things to look forward to for a few legendary players, but we'll end up seeing how Bo Levi looks. Is he going to end up making a bit of a quarterback controversy for the playoffs, or are they going to go with their guy in Jake Meyer, who's the new boy in town, the new sheriff in town? So there's a couple of storylines for Calgary, but overall, like I said, Rough Rider fans are just waiting for next year already.
Producer Clark joining us here from north of the border. I promise next week we'll dive into hockey, and I mean dive all the way in. We got some work to do to finish off the show, but Producer Clark joining us every Thursday. Thank you very much, my friend. Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, Brian.
Oh, boy. Take a break. When we come back, I'm here to list it in case you missed it. And, boy, we had a lot of fun yesterday. This is Snowman in the Morning, and we're back in a flash.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
I want to do a TED Talk, but I don't have anything to talk about yet. I'm getting there.
Life is for the living. We're not here that long.
You can learn anything you want to learn without any money spent.
What do I really enjoy? What do I really want out of life?
I am your host, WIZE.
Are you in a life holding pattern? Well, this is for you. Welcome to the Stuck in My Mind podcast.
For Steph Curry, Tim Anderson, Jordan Alvarez, and it's caught. Debo Samuel with the catch.
Michael Jordan can sense it.
The Fro just got the king.
BS3 Network. The hottest of hot takes. The coldest of cold hard facts. This is Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. Weekdays at 8 a.m. Eastern. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure.
Hey everybody, Snowman here, and thanks for listening to this episode of Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. Want to tell you about a little thing we like to call Monkey Knife Fight. Wait, what? What in the world is that, you may ask? Well, Monkey Knife Fight is a daily fantasy site where you can play your favorite games, support your favorite players, and make money at the same time. And right now, if you go to monkeyknifefight.com and use the code Snowman, you will get a 100% deposit match on up to $100 on your initial deposit. Go to monkeyknifefight.com and use the code Snowman for an up to 100% deposit on your first deposit of up to $100. Thanks, and tell them Snowman sent you.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
So I got an alert while we were at the break that the show's website is down. So somehow, some way, if this has really got me down, man, because I thought I'd taken care of things, but apparently not. So I have to solve that puzzle. I got to solve that puzzle some kind of way. You know, and people wonder, I've had someone ask me, you know, why do I ask for donations via Cash App during the show or via Patreon or whatever? Well, part of it is personal, being declared disabled but not getting disability benefits. The other is business-wise. I got to keep things going. And there's some other thing. Victor Locke, no, everything is not okay. Everything is not okay. But I'm going to keep things going. I need to do something to laugh. And yesterday we had a great time with LJPN. And while I try to figure out who or where an emergency cash app will come from, so I can get the website back up and get some other things going. All I will say is, if you want to sponsor the show, drop an email to snowmaninthemorning@gmail.com. Like I said, I'm here to listen in case you missed it. This was yesterday's LJPN. Enjoy.
All right, look. If Buster come and speak, shut him down. I gave you 3 Schlitz malt liquors.
That's all.
You should be fine as it is. But
No.
but you don't do your job, except for when you're in the bedroom. But you don't do your job. Do your job, son. When Busters talk, shut them down. And only pom pom wafers, because I don't want the chip and the chap from anybody else. Got it?
Well, guess what? You're gonna get it.
Nice. I was
here.
Saying. Now, people talking about Braun team, the Laker, being 0-3. Saw that disrespectful picture of what that milkman that was guarding Anthony Davis. Yeah. His back was turned to him when he's shooting a 3.
Because he can't shoot.
Look,
man.
Back was turned and just so disrespectful. See,
that ain't disrespect.
See, and then these stat line that I see, Patrick Beverly. Why we got Patrick Beverly? Why? I don't understand. He don't do jack on offense. He barely do jack on defense. And Russell Westbrook. Somebody trade for this nigga.
Don't say it.
Somebody trade for him.
Don't say it.
Somebody trade, because this dude can't shoot. It's like this TV show I see. They do this Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. Back in 1996, look, if Tupac was at that fight and Westbrook was at that fight and he had that shotgun, yeah, Tupac be alive today. That's how bad a shooter Westbrook is. In fact, Westbrook, and I'm gonna say it, and I hope it saw him to the point where he feel as though he need to get out of time. Westbrook. Continue bricking, Westbrook.
How many teams in the Western Conference?
15.
1. Westbrook Lee.
That's an incorrect answer, sir.
1. Westbrook Lee.
15. There's 15 teams in the Western Conference, in case you don't know.
15 my 14. 1. There's only one that matter.
What does the Lakers stand at in the Western Conference?
15.
There's only one. There's only one team that matter, and that team is
the Golden State Warriors.
My king.
No, the king wears 30, not 6.
There's only one team that matters, and that is my king.
That's the Golden State Warriors.
It's not a team. Even the Lakers don't matter. My king is the only team.
You like numbers, right? You like numbers?
I love numbers.
You like numbers?
Yeah.
Hit them.
See, especially when you talk about number.
Can we get this on the screen here?
I'm glad you said that. Number. I'm glad you said that, because there's only one number that matters. It don't matter.
Right here,
it don't matter if the Lakers are 0-3. It don't really matter that people don't know how to shoot. It don't matter if the Lakers been on the losing end of games in Golden State and the 2 games at home. It don't matter.
I didn't know Ben Simmons was on the team.
Okay, fine. Yeah. See, all that don't matter. All the 29th, 25th, 16th, 14th. With 110, 24, 42, 103 points. See, those numbers don't matter. The only number that matter is 38,387. That's the only number that matter.
How does that matter if he doesn't make the playoffs? Again.
38,387. Oh, let me take it. I got to take a drip of my cup.
Oh, God.
You must be drinking what Kanye drinking.
Oh, yeah. Nah.
I think he's drinking the joy juice.
Yeah, there we go. Nah, yeah.
You feel better now?
Yeah, I gotta hold it down. Yeah, I gotta hold it down. Yeah.
Oh, by the way,
continue.
this should answer your question.
Y'all fool tripping. You see,
Why are we tripping when the Lakers suck?
Because it don't matter about Laker. It don't matter about it matter about my king. That's what matters.
I'm gonna let you continue, but let me tell you this. I want you to be prepared because the day's gonna come.
I told you, engineer.
You're gonna see me one-on-one.
Mute these fools. Mute them. Mute them. Perfect. Yeah. That's right. You're on your job now. I will now give you a raise. Now you will earn $8 an hour.
That's a raise. My ass.
He was getting paid $7.25. Now, I told you the stat don't matter, the playoff don't matter.
Oh,
the ticket sale don't matter. No. The ticket sale don't matter.
I thought your king was chasing championships.
No. My king is chasing greatness.
That ain't greatness.
And greatness is right now 38,387.
You call that greatness?
That's great.
Somebody did it before. You call that greatness? Somebody did it before him, fool.
That's right. That's right. Carissa Abdullah-Jabbar.
That's Kareem, you asshole.
Carissa Abdullah-Jabbar. I told you, engineer. Mute him. There we go. Perfect. I said Carissa Abdullah-Jabbar.
That's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
I said Carissa Abdullah-Jabbar. That is the player, he or she, I don't care. That is the player who had that number when my king surpassed him. He will be the greatest player of all time.
Who told this lie? Who told this lie?
No lie told. He'll be the greatest player of all time when he get 38,388 points. Now,
who told this lie?
Now, to my man out there, Hot TV, I agree with you, homie. I agree with you. Where that statement? Where that statement? Quicker, fool, quicker. When I want the statement, pull it up now. Slow Jack Donkey. Lord have mercy. You don't know how to do your job, son.
You sure you ain't talking about this?
Gooza, drip, swallow. Bronson, you fired. Gone. I told you. Prom, pom, waivers. No haters. Now get the comment that I want. There we go, finally. Dominique Wilkes, Jane Werfel, Tom Chamber, Larry Bird, LaWanda Brightman couldn't hold LeBron lunch spot. That's what I'm talking about. You're right. And half of them, are milkmen. I told you, engineer. Perfect. Now,
that's because
and the rest of them, they basically nothing more than garbage men. So I understand.
You mean like your game?
I understand.
Your King's game.
My king. When he get 38,388 points,
nobody would care
of all time. And then on top of it, y'all talk about the gold point, in Magic Johnson.
Yep.
Well,
Urban Magic Johnson.
In less than 80 assists that my king will amass, the GOAT point guard will be passed by my king. And the GOAT burnt gourd will be my king. But I don't want to talk about.
Hold on, wait. Didn't his best friend just get 11,000 career assists?
But see, I don't want to talk. I want to talk about the Carissa Adila-Jabilum, and I don't want to talk about Magic Johnson. No, I don't want to talk about those.
That's Johnson, you fool.
I don't want to talk about them. They so in the past that I can. They so in the past I can just simply go, and I'll be coughing from the dust that come up from the body. I ain't talking about them.
Yes, you are.
No, see, I'm talking about real change in a player, real happenings. You know, like in the next flick, the Necker flicker, whatever that is. Yeah, they did a documentary. Ducking You Find Me. Yeah, they did a Ducking You Find Me about the ridiculous, no, the repugnant, no, the repugnant, no, the no. Hold on. Oh, you said redeem. Okay, yeah, the Redeem Team. Yeah, I saw that documentary, and there was a what y'all call bronzexia. I call a man who know what he's talking about when he said, "Quote." Here we go. LeBron James on the Redeem Team saved America. Close quote. And so with that,
that's some grade A homogenized whole.
So with that being said, so that being said,
who told this lie?
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, shit. He saved our country. You know, we were horrible in 2002. We were horrible in 2004. We were horrible in 2006. But in 2008, a man rose from the ashes. He came to the aid of Team USA. He put them on their back, and he lifted them to a gold medal.
No,
that's right. He saved America with his play. He saved America with his leadership. He saved America with his absolute brilliance. He saved America. So let's take this time to celebrate a true America. LeBron James, a.k.a. my king. Oh, he's such a patriot. Oh my God. Oh, my king. I love my country, and you helped me get my love for my country back. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my God. My king. Oh, I love you, my king. Oh, I love you, my king. I love you so much. Oh my God. Oh, you something else.
LJPN is sponsored by HoFacts. Before she hoe, and you gotta know, tell her to show me the HoFacts.
Well, I'm sorry, folks. I wanted to play that, and yeah, I'm on the verge of crying right now. And I'm not going to quit doing this. But if I'm allowed to be unfiltered for a couple of minutes, it's let me put this up. Really wish you had big donations like I can see on a POS drama hating on each other other channels get. Those channels do popular. Yeah. Which is why I am probably going to make the move. If I find a way to get my website back up today, I am probably going to make the move to really push the Patreon. Both of them. One for my network and one for my show. And it's so unfair. What's up, Rod West? Deets, you and I need to have a conversation because I believe this too. I believe that too. And I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody that has supported this show with all that it's going through right now, with everything that's going on that I found out since I came back from break. I really don't know what to do. I really don't. But I'm going to keep trying. I'm going to find out what I need to do. If I got to use Discord, then so be it. If even the sports organ, Victor, you put up a great comment. It's more politics than anything else. Even the sports organizations are diving more into politics. And if you don't support the right politics, you don't get politics, you don't get anything. It's sickening. It's stupid and sickening. I may be going through a lot right now and I may be disabled, but God damn it, I'm trying. I'm trying. We're trying. We're trying. There's more than me. There's Cole, there's Wise, there's our significant others, Cole's wife, Wise's wife, my wife, the folks who have been faithful in the chat. I'm still looking at this year to be a celebration. And I know the ninth year of this show is just getting started. But when you're throwing a curveball on the air like that, people get affected. And what I've also found out is when you continue to pursue your dreams, people get offended. Don't know why that is, but they get offended. I don't get it. I just don't get it. Well, you know what? This is driving me even more now. This is driving me even more. I'm going to work as hard as I can today to get what I need to relaunch the website, and it may be under a different address. If that is the case, then those who want to know will know. And what I'm also going to do on the potentially new website is to build an email list. It's something I got away from, but I'm going to get back into. And believe me, I'm going to share the daylights out of that contact list. People want us to quit. People want us to give up. Well, I'll be damned if we do. I'll be damned if we do. I got a lot to do. I'm going to be full of caffeine, and I'm going to get it all done. And now that I have a formula on what to do with the podcast, and I'm taking the hour segments down, I'm going to rebuild the podcast today too. I'm going to rebuild it all today. I'm going to rebuild it all today. I won't get too excited, because if I get too excited, I'll start cussing, and I don't want to cuss right now. I really don't. Because it wouldn't be fair to the folks that listen, even though the last couple of weeks I've gotten more blue than ever, trying to build something special. And yes, that's the NBA on CBS that you hear in the background, because I figure I turn that theme on and I'll have it take us out. But don't expect us to give up. Don't expect us to quit, because we're not. I'll be damned if I don't get everything reorganized by the time my wife walks through the door this evening. I'll be damned if I don't get everything reorganized today. That's the website. That's the podcast. And I'm only going to use the segments. The podcast will be up on YouTube as well as the new website. I need someone to really step up and give me one good Cash App before I sign off, so immediately I can get to work on building the show's website, the website for my network, which is SDM Sports Radio Network, and I can get all that done today, because now I see the path in front of me. I'm still going to ask people to help, because this is not just for me. This is for everyone that's involved. This is for everyone that wants to see this flourish. Speaking of which, pick up the podcast wherever you consume your podcast, and please, and I mean please, support the show on Patreon, patreon.com/SIT Morning. The NBA on CBS will take us out of here. Have a great day. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move, and always remember, if your dreams don't scare you, then they are not big enough. Dream big, do bigger. You better believe we are. Hope y'all are too. We're out of here. See you tomorrow.